Welcome to another S&P 500 analysis. Today is June 7, 2022. Just want to do a little bit of a midweek recap here on the S&P and also a couple of the trade idea that I put out in the middle of last night. I'm not sure how many of you guys actually had a chance to watch that or even was aware of it. But in any case, go and check out my channel, and I also have the link in the description below for you to go check out that couple of the trade idea. Just want to do a little recap on the S&P 500 first, and then we'll follow up on those couple trade idea. Before I begin, I need you to smash that thumbs up to help me promote this video on YouTube. And if you are looking for an unbiased view of the market, then click the subscribe to this channel. And be sure to click the notification icon to turn on notifications so you won't miss any of my future video. Here we are looking at the intraday chart of what the market is doing. As you can see, the S&P 500 was up almost 1% today, up 39 points, and the Nasdaq 100 also up close to 1%. It was 0.89%, up over 112 points. And you can see here the up-down volume ratio at the New York Stock Exchange, about 2.7 to 1 in favor of the up volume. And you see the up volume is just accumulating up on throughout the day after a little bit after 9 o'clock Pacific time, or after the noon hour in New York. Likewise for the Nasdaq, 2.4 to 1 in favor of the up volume, and the Russell 2000, it was 3.9 to 1 in favor of the up volume. And here's the Nasdaq up volume, up down volume. You can see that same thing after the noon hour, shortly after noon hour, about 12:30 in New York, and you see the up volume start to turn positive and just run up. And in addition to that, we also noticed the advanced decline. The advanced decline opened down today, with more declining issue than advancing issue. Then it came back up, came up quite quickly on a early rally here. Then it sold off, and you see that the declining issue came back down to somewhere around a little bit more than 500 issue, more declining issue than advancing issue. Likewise for the Nasdaq. And the other thing to notice here is the ticks. Initially, we have a little bit of negative cumulative tick, and then positive and negative. These are the zone that above 500 is pretty much buy program, and below 500 is sell program. And once we get below 1,000, that's pretty strong selling. A lot of strong sell program being activated. So you can see in the morning session is pretty much up and down, couldn't decide exactly where to go. And then in the afternoon, once it turned close to 1 o'clock, you can see the cumulative tick went positive. So in other words, there are more positive tick than a negative tick, and it just continue to stay positive. So it's just adding on to the positive tick. So that kind of show you that the buying pressure is coming in. Here we see quite a few that is above 1,000 tick. Likewise for the Nasdaq market, you could notice, you can see same thing. The cumulative tick turned positive here, and just like the New York Stock Exchange early in the morning session, it was kind of positive, negative, positive, kind of fluctuating around. So that's kind of give you a little bit of a broader picture on how the day transpire in terms of buying and selling pressure, and how the market rotate up and down here. And just quickly looking at the daily sentiment and the internals, you can see the VIX is still inside of this 20-30 zone, sitting at 24 today, and the put call ratio is just about this 0.75, sitting at 0.77. A little bit more caution in the market here from the market participant, because they are still being very cautious here with the VIX sitting at 24. And looking at the up-down volume ratio, we saw that earlier on the intraday chart there. And you can see the last couple of days been positive. Even yesterday with a negative day, it was positive up down volume ratio, and also the AD, the daily advanced decline was also positive. And today finished up over 1,200 more advancing issue than declining issue in the New York Stock Exchange. And here the new high, new low. You can see that the new high is outnumbering the new low now for pretty much 2 consecutive weeks. So we'll see how this thing finishes up. But the thing to notice is that it is coming up. The number of new high, number of stock making new 52-week high is coming up, and the number of stock making new 52-week low have contracted dramatically. Again, from these level here, that was over 1,000 stock making new 52-week low in this time period here. And here, looking at the New York Stock Exchange cumulative AD line, you see that the advanced decline, cumulative advanced decline line actually came up and made a new pivot high here. So it's making a higher high, but the S&P 500 is not making a higher high. So that gives us a little bit of a positive divergence. So we could see the S&P 500 could make a little bit move up. I wouldn't be surprised to see 4,200 in the near future here. And looking at the Nasdaq 100, the Nasdaq 100 was also, close up today, and the Nasdaq also saw positive up-down volume ratio yesterday and today. Even though yesterday was also a down day, and the advanced decline yesterday was just a little bit negative, only 8 more issue declining than advancing issue yesterday, and today it was over 1,100 more advancing issue than declining issues. And the number of stock making new 52-week high is coming up. In the Nasdaq, got 54 today, although it's still not having outnumbered the number of stock making new 52-week low yet. But the number of stock making new 52-week low have came down dramatically, similarly to the New York Stock Exchange. You notice that up here it was over 1,000, almost 2,000. Stock making new 52-week low, versus right now is about 178, 10% of what it was. So that's quite an improvement in terms of number of issue making new low. And here on the cumulative AD line for the Nasdaq, it did not make a higher high, so there is no positive divergence such as the New York Stock Exchange with the S&P 500. Now let's take a look at the swing trade idea that I put out, and the first one is Apple. The thing was we were going to watch for Apple to pull back into this zone, because there is this version point of control, this VPOC, and also this high volume zone here. We're basically looking for the price to come down here to see would it get a bounce. If it does get a bounce, then we're essentially targeting this coming back up here to this VPOC, and that's a little bit above 150. We have an expected range of somewhere around 151. So we say we're going to front run this targeting 150. And you can see today that a pretty good run, much better than I expected. I didn't expect it to make such a dramatic bounce off of this zone here. But as you can see right now, we got a little bit of high volume zone here also. So continue to watch for this thing to come up to this VPOC. And again, ultimately, we're basically looking at this 156. There is another VPOX here, this high volume node, this high volume zone. So, but for this week, we essentially looking at this 151, 152, the expected range for this week. So I hope you kind of had a chance to look at that video and caught some of these moves here. And for the SPY, the ETF for the S&P 500, we're also basically looking at this area here, this VPOX here, would pull down and then get a bounce. Then we basically are looking for this thing to come up, bounce back up to this 415 area, and then run it, trail it up to this 420 to 422, the expected range for the week. And you can see that it did not come down, such as like Apple. So, so this swing trade never triggered. But remember, we also have this composite volume profile. And essentially, this is a balance area. And here today, we can see this is what we call look below and fail. And we could have, play it back up to this upper boundary, or there is a composite point of control, as I pointed out on the previous video, that there's that 411. So one could have played that for the 411 and then, trailed it up to this 415. As you can see that it hit this 415 target today. So right now, we're going to keep an eye on to see will it continue to run and hit this expected range for this week between 420 and 422 area. I hope you found this to be informative and useful, and don't forget to smash the thumbs up to help me promote this video on YouTube. Thank you for watching and stay safe.